Hello and welcome to Emerging Tech Tuesdays. I'm Justin. I'm the Emerging Technologies Librarian here at Hodges University. Each episode will go over a new tool that may help you in your work here at Hodges, whether you're a student, faculty, or staff. Remember that the IT department or the library in general may not be able to provide you with technical support for any of the apps we go over here. These are just to raise your interest and provide you with new tools to solve everyday problems. If you do have any questions or have a technology or need you'd like to see addressed, please don't hesitate to contact me directly at jwhite1.hodges.edu. So what we're going to go over today is called Canva. And what Canva is actually a little difficult to explain. It's a design program, but not like Paint, although Paint is probably the easiest way to think about it. It is a graphics creation tool that is extremely simple. It's drag and drop, and we're going to go over some of that today so that you get a feel of how it actually works. So we always start off with the login screen. I'm going to log in with Google as I often do. So this is my personal account, but you can see I also have a Hodges University account. So this is a really interesting thing. If you are a nonprofit, so if you have a group that is doing research, or if you are a faculty member, or if you are staff, and you want to have a group, all you need to do is provide, if you want to have the premium features for free, all you have to do is provide proof that you are a nonprofit, and you will get a nonprofit account that has a lot of the more powerful tools. And I'm not going to show off anything that particularly requires those tools because I learned on the free version, but it's just an interesting thing to keep in mind. I'm only going to be using our team site one because it has all the Hodges design and logos, and that'll just be easier for me. So what I'm going to do is show off some of the things that we've made before, so you can see we've made these nice little designs. You can go in at any time, they're cloud saved, and you can go in and edit them again, change things around, and it cloud saves for it. So you have unsaved changes, file, there, just saved. So what I'm going to do is create a threefold brochure. So I'm going to use custom dimensions. I'm going to put it in inches, and I'm going to do this backwards so that it orientates the page long ways. So the width is going to be 11 and the height is going to be 8.5 inches. So this is a regular sheet of paper size in Canva. And look, there's a photo grid. So what this grid does is it's going to split into a nice piece of 3. So that's easy. That's in layouts. You can see all these different layouts. I'm going to do one thing real quick. I'm going to put a yellow background. That way I can see my line. Then I'm going to click on any one of these and change it into the color I want. So I want these all white. And I want the background to be yellow. So there, now I can see exactly where the folds are going to be. And one thing that will be easy to do, just to show it off, so you can see I've got all these different types of pre-formatted fonts, little font groups. Just hit delete to get rid of it and click on the whole thing. There we go. It's got titles and subtitles. You can stretch it, you can grow it. But I'm just going to do regular little headings. So inside middle, I'm just going to do this real quick. Make a copy of that, and another copy of that. See if it's got the guiding lines for me. Very fancy. Okay, now all I've got to do is make a copy of this. Okay, so what's this going to be? That'll become the back, and depending on how you fold it. Okay, of course you can put whatever you actually want there. So let's play around with some elements, some lines, illustrations. Okay, now when you're using frames like this, you can't use uploads. It'll be really wonky, but you can use things like, well, actually, let me test these free photos. Yeah, it does try and set them into the whole of the frame. But you can use things like shapes. So say I need an orange block here. Maybe I want to build a little shape. We've actually done this before. Change the color. Little low set house. Change the size. Maybe it'll be a tree or an arrow. You can have a lot of fun with it. And these free images are nice. It's a new feature. So if you just wanted each one to kind of have its own feel, I guess you could do that. Pretty fancy. I would keep it more simple than that. And then your text can go in. So you can again use these texts. You find one that you really like. Or just a little body of text. And since we've already done this, let's go ahead and do the same thing for the rest. So I want to use, just didn't need to move that around, but that's okay. It's easy to realign it. Copy that text. So hit copy. I can change if it's bold. I can change coloring. I can change all sorts of stuff. Again, using photos in the background, you always have to be very careful because the photos are going to be different colors in different places, so you can see it can mess with your text. But this is just a demonstration. You don't have to use photos, or you can use photos that are all white background like this. And again, you can always get your guiding lines so you can see, is this going to line up in the middle? Is it going to line up on the left? Going to line up on the right? Pretty powerful for a free tool. And this is all things that are available in the free tools. So you can change the title here. Hit File, that makes it automatically save. And then all I need to do is just download it in order to print it. And I often, just as a PDF. If you've put in items, I do have to warn you that there are elements that are not free. So you keep going down until you see something that might say $1. When you get to that point and you hit download, then it's going to ask you to pay the $1 or whatever for the free or the proprietary fonts and images. But it looks like most of these are free. They're all Creative Commons open or something, which is nice. So you don't have to worry about copyright. One more thing I wanted to show just before we leave. So it doesn't really matter what size this is. Elements, charts. So say you're not very good at Excel and you just want a chart that looks good and you can put your data in. Well, that's no problem. You find a chart you like, you find one with the width you like, and because Canva is so easy to edit, pulls out your data. I've been playing a lot of fantasy games lately, as you can see. And change the numbers, really throw off the scale. There we go. Yeah, always be careful with scale. And you can change the design and things like that. And so that's, an easy way of making it without having to worry about, what it's going to look like. And sometimes when you're using Excel, that's not always the case. Again, you just save your design file that automatically cloud saves it. And of course, when you go back into Canva and go back into your account, your items are still there. So we can still go back to our threefold brochure. Oh, there was something I need to change. I have a typo. I go back, change it, download it again, and print it out. And that's pretty much it for Canva. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me.